Welcome to Road to Billions Podcast, the mentality of an entrepreneur. With your host, Moise Bertrand.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Moise Bertrand, your host of Road2Billions Podcast, and I'm so grateful for you guys to be listening to this podcast. I'm gonna switch it up today. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna really go the normal route I usually do when I give you guys the whole rundown about the podcast. This podcast is more so for a book review I just did, and I know a lot of people that's been telling me to read this book for months, and I finally got to read it. And you know, the book I'm about to tell you guys is a very inspirational book, and I honestly feel like it's one of the best books I ever read in my life because it opened my eyes to like what's out there for you is going to be out there for you no matter what, and you don't have to be afraid. So the book name is The Alchemist. I know you guys who already follow me on Road2Billions on Instagram, you guys see me post a review of the book in the summary. And honestly, it was one of the best books I ever read in my life. But you guys know the drill. You guys knew I wasn't going to just give you guys the whole podcast. Please share and review and you know, give a rate on the podcast and let other people know, hey, this is the podcast to listen to, Road2Billions. And, you know, I really appreciate you guys. That really warms my heart. But back to the story, The Alchemist. The Alchemist is a very deep book. And when I say deep book, it really gets you in your head. It gets you in your own mind, answering yourself, making you ask yourself questions like, am I really ready for this? Like, am I at this position in my life, or what's next after this? These questions you have for yourself can be answered by this book. And I'm not going to tell you you're going to find your whole life story in this book, but this book gave me at least 75 to 95% of more of a validation and confirmation for me that I'm on the right path, because, you know, just the beginning of the book started off with, you know, this kid who he was pretty much a shepherd, and he was more so in the personal journey of finding his legend. And what I mean by that is his purpose. That's pretty much what your personal legend is. Like, what is your purpose out in life? What are you meant to do? What is that burning desire you have in your heart? And each day he was really just more so focused on, I don't know how to get there. And, you know, this is too big to think of. And he was just thinking too far in the future when he really just was supposed to be focused on the present. And what the present just told him is, you know, don't be afraid of asking for what you want. Don't be fearful into going into unknown territories. You know, don't offend the wrong people. You know, always be a student. And be ready to go through the most bullshit in order to live like a great life, to go to paradise. And, you know, the Alchemist really shed light on that, because when I came to college, I was more so focused on being a doctor and doing everything. But that wasn't what I really wanted to do. Like, I spoke to so many people and they were just telling me I'll be a great professional. And I'm like, I know I'm gonna be a great doctor. I know I'm gonna be great, a medical professional, but I got to be real to myself. I can't just look at my life and be like, well, I'm going to do this for 5 years and, you know, hop into entrepreneurship. I can't do that. Like, I couldn't do that. I know I couldn't do that because I'll be depressed and I'll be stressing about work because it's not what I really want to do. And I feel like a lot of people fall victim to that, fall victim to their parents, fall victim to friends and peer pressures in society, because it's people out here making tens of millions of dollars. Millions doing what they love. But you rather take the easy route and do something that you could settle for, right? And I'm not going against any professions at the end of the day, because we need people in these professions. But I'm more so going towards the people who are going in these professions and not really 100% sure if that's what they want, because you know how to do something, right? And everybody know how to do something, but mind you, this podcast isn't for people who have careers. Like, I'm being honest, this is an entrepreneurship podcast, and it's more so for people who are looking to build businesses and who are already in the business industry. But the whole thing works all together. And the personal legend of Alchemist was more so saying you have to ask the universe for what you want and be specific, because it responds to what you say. And I've been telling myself I'm a rich, independent, successful black man in America. And I'm able to help others around me with knowledge, monetary resources, and just me just lending a helping hand. And that's what I speak over myself every day, because I know it's going to become a reality very soon. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not chasing the money. I'm not chasing the lifestyle. I'm chasing the freedom, the way I know I could get into something and be able to give back. That's what I'm more so in it after. Like, I'm building Road to Billions because I want you guys to really be a part of this movement and be part of this community, because, you know, a few months now, this podcast is going to be tens of thousands downloads in, and someone's going to run across one of these episodes and really just understand what I'm telling them is for them. You know, you don't have to have it all together. You could have $1 in your account today and have 100,000 next month. And that's why I never really try to put nothing past people, and I don't really like not believing in miracles, because at one point I was devastated. Like, I was really devastated on just some of the actions and some of the past decisions I made, and I was really just like, well, if I'm focused on doing this in life, is it going to still happen? Like, is this still going to become a reality? And, you know, the legend, the Alchemist, talks about still believing things even though it's not there. Like, you have to generally know how things will work out without knowing how it's exactly going to work out. You know, and if you have one way of thinking how one thing is going to work out, it may be completely different of what you really expected, but everything has its reasonings, you know. And in The Alchemist, when he met other people, and of course, people who are going through problems themselves, he was able to figure out that the way he was able to get through life is by helping other people more with the problems they have currently. You know, he spoke about meeting a merchant up in the hills when he finally went up the mountain, and this merchant only sold, you know, basic things. And this merchant really was just a person who just sit on the side of the road. He didn't really believe that he wanted to go to Egypt. Like the shepherd wanted to go to Egypt and see the pyramids. He had this vision of seeing the pyramids and having all this money coming across treasure. But no one ever believed him, because no one ever seen the treasure or thought too far in the future about, you know, this could be a reality for this guy. So they always shut down his dreams, saying, well, you know, if you're going to make it there, you want to go through the dunes, then, you know, you got to go through the deserts. And they were just instilling so much fear into him. But his purpose wasn't to just take that fear and run with it. His purpose was to tell people, well, why are you fearful? Why do you feel like that? Like, why do you feel like that? Because this is not a reality for everybody. This is something that you're dealing with. So why do you feel like that? And, you know, when he met the merchant just told him, well, it's better to just dream about being there than actually being there and putting the work in. So he was like, okay, so you just okay where you at in life. And some people are okay with where they at in life. And the shepherd, he was like, well, I'm not going to be here for that long, but I could work for you, and I can make tons of cash for you. And of course, take my portion. And if you feel like I helped you, by all means, give me your blessings and everything, because I am trying to really do great. So after time and stuff like that, he was more so in the realm of, I'm helping everybody else around me, and I'm getting closer to my goal. I'm starting to see things that I used to ask for. You know, he was always low on money, but now he started having, you know, gold coins being given to him. He was always looking for answers, and he started receiving omens. And for those who don't know what omens is, it's pretty much a sign. It's like you tell somebody, oh, I hope this person calls me, and this person calls you in the next 10 minutes. That's an omen. It's like something you asked for in the universe, or you was presently thinking about, constantly thinking about, and it just wanted to validate your thoughts or your consciousness. So he was looking at omens. He was looking at people who were coming to him with the answer he was asking the whole time. Like, what is my personal legend? And everybody was like, only you could know that. Like, some people was more so intrigued by his intelligence. Some people was more so like frightened by how someone could think so big, but it gave him the motivation that, you know, there's people out there living like this. Like, there's people out there who's possibly not afraid of chasing their dreams, of risks, of actually doing things. And he learned over time that when you're set out to do something in life and you really put all into it, in the universe and you really believe in yourself, it's very hard to not make that work, because the universe conspires everything in the world to give you what you want once you put your focus on your goal, on what you're heading towards. And you have to understand that this is for anybody in life. Like, you can't really focus on the present. Like, I used to have a little bit of cash and a little bit of resources and a little bit of people around me. And I was in a mindset of like, man, this never going to change. This shit never going to change, man. Like, I constantly told myself that, at a point where I was like, well, I'm going to stop telling myself this. I know whatever I want, I'm going to get. Like, I started switching my mindset more. I started talking more affirmations in the morning. I started really changing my mindset. Not before I read The Alchemist, but I'm saying at a present time, I was really going through a negative mindset, and it's not until I switched my mindset that my life got better. And that's what The Alchemist is pretty much was referring to. And, for those who don't know, it's okay. Like, I try to repeat that because people listen to my podcast and they think I'm perfect and they think I'm just a successful person. No, I put the work in, and I'm generally telling you it's okay to fuck up, and it's okay to be broken. It's okay to not know where you're headed next. But the reality of everything is you don't supposed to know. Like, that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of faith. That's the beauty of the journey, because you could just be with this group of people, and then you think these people are going to be with you for the rest of your life, and that's just your tribe for that season. That's your people for that season, or for whatever lesson you needed to learn. But everything doesn't need to go with you, and sometimes he had to learn that. He learned that the hard way when he was really in love. Well, he really admired this one young lady, of course, who, worked she was in the desert. And, he was telling her that he had to go. He had to go and find out what he really needed to do in life. And a lot of people have a hard time letting go, like family, friends, relationships, and everything, because they're having a hard time just figuring out what do they really want. Like, you can't have something that you don't know what you want. Like, you can't be presented for something, or you can't ask a question to something you don't know. And, he had to really find himself in all the aspects of what is it that I really want? How is it that I'm going to accomplish this? And when would this arrive? And it didn't come in 2-3 months. It took I believe a year and some change just for him to really figure out what he really was looking for was on the other side of the fear. And he had to go through this whole journey of traveling the country and traveling the world and meeting new people and speaking to people and getting new experiences and new knowledge, just because what he was looking for was all in front of him. And what was in front of him was just to find himself. He was the only thing keeping him from reaching that goal. And once he came across that treasure, when he got beat up, he got robbed and stuff like that by a bunch of robbers who was just passing through the desert when he was already, feeling like he nearly made it. He got beat up. They beat the hell out of him and they robbed him and stuff like that. And, they didn't find the treasure that he was looking for, because he was looking for the treasure right there on the spot, and they intercepted him and they beat him up and they took his money. But he was so close, right? He was so close. And then once they left, the assailants left, like, he ended up finding the treasure. But the answer to why he continued to find the treasure after he just got beat up and everything was just taken from him is because he knew his purpose didn't stop at him just getting beat up. Like, I can't stop at wanting to start business if I don't have any money. Like, I can't stop myself from pursuing what I really want to do if this is only monetary. Like, this is something that's only going to be here for a moment. I can't stop myself from finding what I need to out. And he mostly put himself in that predicament because he was more so courageous. He was courageous because he knew what was meant for him is that was going to find him. And the personal legend said, once you find yourself, everything you're looking for in life is going to be more clear and it's going to be more attracted to you, because now you know what you want. So you know how to attract certain things. You know what you don't want. You know how to move about things. You know how to do this and this and that. And everything was making perfect sense to him. So the Alchemist is pretty much a young boy who's just looking for his purpose in life, who doesn't know how to find it. But once you find your purpose, it's easier to say that you have to go through the journey. You have to go through the fuck ups, the success, the L's. You have to go through all that shit. That's what you call the journey. The things people don't look at, the things people oversee. And once you go through that journey, you have to embrace that journey. And one thing about the journey is that you can never get corrupted or comfortable. You can never sit in one place. And he always asks questions. And the Alchemist always told you, like, it's okay to ask questions because sometimes you may need the answer and you have to ask yourself, how do I put this in a way where I'm going to need that specific answer given to me? And that's the whole point of the universe asking for whatever you want in life, ask for it specifically. You know, if you want $1 million, ask for $1 million by November 2021, and you're going to have that $1 million, probably not now, but you're going to have that million really soon. But you're keeping yourself very much motivated that is possible, and you're conspiring everything in the world to bring your energy in to feel like that's bound to happen. You know, that's going to happen. And a lot of people may not agree with viewpoints of other people, how people go about certain things, or you should go get a career and work for this many years, and then until you have some money saved up, save in business. Everybody ideology is different. You know, I have the ideology. It's better to start early than start late, because you never know, starting early could be the best way for you to just luck up, and you have more energy, you have more of a freedom-based environment when you're younger. You know, when you tend to get older, 30, 29, 30, 31, 32, it's starting to get harder, because now you built up so much responsibility over the years that now you have no choice but to like balance life out. So I go with the approach where it's easier to just start early and young, and you know, you'll know if it's for you or not. But if you're a natural born hustler, nothing like this is really going to like, you know, mess with you. It's just a phase. And that's the way I'm on my journey. Like, I'm on a personal legend to find out my purpose. And my purpose is really becoming more clear to me. I'm gaining more clarity on it. But I generally want to be able to give the world back the information that was taught to me. And I want to give it back to the people who are not in the best environments, who aren't really ready or seem to other people that they're deemed for the spot. But I know so many people who have so much ideas and so much courageous confidence, you know, just a tenacious attitude where they're going to get wherever they need to be at. And, you know, sometimes it's okay to give other people a push. And that's why my life is served around purpose, the service around helping other people. So I want to make it in life where I could just be able to give back to others and help others bring themselves up in life and help, and then keep the train going. Because honestly, I'm not a person who's money hungry. Like, I feel like if I need something, it's going to come to me. You know, I'm not really a person who goes looking for shit. I never do. You know, I don't try to go looking for shit. I feel like what's meant for me is always going to make its way to me. And that's what the Alchemist taught me. You have to be comfortable knowing that you're not right. And you have to be comfortable going through fucked up shit and hardships. And you have to be comfortable knowing that, you know, today could be worse, but tomorrow could be better. You know, you have to be okay with just letting go control. And once you do that, life flows more effortlessly and people become more attracted to you, and you're just more, I'm not saying attracted like, you know, good looking, but just your energy is high frequency flowing. You know, it's just more so a thing. But the journey is very much lonely. And I'm on a journey right now, and I'm very much, you know, it gets lonely. Like, I feel like it gets very much lonely because I'm not really a person who speaks about what's really going on with themselves. I like to just journal things and, you know, meditate. But the journey is very much lonely, people. Like, I don't want you guys to look at me and be like, he's happy with every day of his life. Yes, I'm happy, but the journey is very much lonely. So don't get that confused. Like, you can still do what you want to do, but it's lonely because when you're a visionary, it's so hard for other people to see things that's just in the future that you see in your mind. You know, it's very hard for people to see that. So I thank God each and every day for you guys listening to Road2Billions Podcast. It's been a great journey. It's been an amazing journey, like Kevin Gates say. But I try to tell people each and every day, like, it's okay. It's okay to start over. It's okay to go broke and get rich. It's okay to be rich and go broke. It's okay. But it's not okay where you sit down and you just dwell in your guilt and your actions and being comfortable where you at. It's not okay. So all in all, keep chasing your dreams. If you haven't read The Alchemist, I recommend 10 out of 10 for anybody who's just looking to find out their purpose in life. Please read this book. And, tag me in it. Let me know how you feel about it. Road2Billions, billionaire_Moise. Tag me in it. And of course, like I said, it's not easy, man, but it's worth the while. So I appreciate you guys for listening to Road2Billions. Subscribe, rate, review, and share this podcast. I hope you guys have a great day.